Might need a new pot of Evil Sun Scarlet. Evening, Eternal Crusader. How you doing? You're first in line. How's things? I'm tempted to run that list with like the 20 Terminators in it, right? -1 to wound on a lot of them. +1 to wound, reroll ones. Hello, Campbell. Good evening, good evening. This will be a pretty chill stream tonight. I'm going to be doing some base coats on some Bolter Terminators. To start with anyway. Some metal, some plastic, some new, some old. A bit of it. I think I'm definitely need to find another pot of Evil Sun Scarlet. This might be my last pot. This could be a disaster. I mean, it'll be enough for this stream, I'm sure, but I need to make sure that I invest in another pot tomorrow. Always painting red, huh? Evening, Mike. Evening, Dracu. I'm convinced that Gladius is being revamped. You just mean because of all the other Space Marine chapters getting nice, sexy new detachments? You think they won't leave the Ultramarines behind? I guess we'll find out soon, won't we? When do the new rules for Iron Hands and White Scars come out? So I was looking for them earlier this week because I was away this weekend. That's why there was no stream this weekend, right? It was my wife's birthday. We went away. It was great. We spent far too much at the bar, but we had a good time, right? Hello, Matthew. Good evening. As you do when it's someone's birthday, went a little bit overkill. So yeah, we did that, and I didn't really check my phone at all, right? Like, you know when you've got good company and you don't check your phone, because normally I'm a bit obsessive with my phone. I checked a couple of weeks back, so we're talking about screen time, and like my screen time was ridiculous. It's like 3 or 4 hours a day. So I was like, oh my god, I need to lower my screen time. Anyway, I was away this weekend, and I want to say on Saturday, my screen time for the entire day was like 20, well, apart from when I used my phone as the sat-nav, it was like 20 minutes. I was really happy. Had good company, didn't use my phone at all. But I started here on the few minutes I was on my phone, people are starting to chatter about the new detachments, and I was like, oh, go figure. Every time I go away or try and take a little break, that's when they release new stuff. But then I got back home and I went onto like Warcom, and it was like the new detachments aren't there on Warcom, so they're released to like other bigger streamers and stuff. Because I'm teeny tiny, I don't get any of the leaks, or I don't get any of the models early. So I guess that's the problem with being teeny tiny. But yeah, so I haven't seen White Scars or Iron Hands, but I am somewhat excited to see them. But I still am somewhat tempted to play that Emperor's Children, not Emperor's Children, excuse me, Emperor's Shield detachment, I think it was called, or the Shield of the Emperor, because I never really feel Terminators in 10th edition. I don't think they're very good, but they look like they could be quite good in that detachment. Hello, Phil. Hello, Lord Commander Dante. How are you guys this evening? I just got finished filming a video, actually, just before I came on here. And it's a weird one, right? Because this week my tactics video is actually coming on Sunday. I just got finished uploading it and filming it. Still need to make a thumbnail. But there's a good reason it's coming on Sunday. But I can't really tell you the reason until closer to the time. So it's going to be a surprise this week on the tactics video. It is a Blood Angels video. I know I've done a couple of different detachments the last couple of weeks. But it is Blood Angels this week. Back to the, you know, the boys in red. The superstars of Warhammer 40,000. So we've got that coming this week, but it's something a little bit different. But there still will be a video on Friday. I've also filmed something else to put out on Friday, so you're not going to miss out. but it's going to be a different week, I guess. Is there a decent chance of Blood Angels getting their own Terminator since the ones that they have are out of stock? I would say no. There's very, very little chance of Blood Angels getting their own Terminators. A lot of people are on the copium saying that they think like, oh, Blood Angels will get a new Terminator kit. I'm just looking at like what's happened this last couple of years, right? Like, it's like, well, our Dreadnought didn't get a unique kit. The Death Company don't have a unique kit. I have a funny feeling that the Terminators are not going to get a unique kit. That's why I went out last week and bought the old set, right? I'm trying to even think if this is an old one or a new one. I think this is actually an old one. Yeah, I think this was, this might have been one of those ones from Space Marine Heroes. I don't even know where this model came from, actually. Sometimes subscribers and members send me some models that they don't want as well, and I've got a bag of like 100 sprues that was given to me by somebody that I've probably not sorted through properly. So I'm not actually even sure where this model came from. But I don't think he's one of the new size ones. I think this model here is one of the old size ones. I'll put him next to a new size one in a minute and you can see the difference. Hello, Michael. Unless they do another Space Hulk game. Yeah, I mean, if they do another Space Hulk game, they might. They obviously announced like Warhammer Quest this last week, or a new Warhammer Quest is coming. Is this a Space Marine Heroes 2 set? This might have been Space Marine Heroes. Yeah. Look, here's the size, old and new. Old on the left, new on the right.
Donated
and then
$19.99 via Super Chat. Thank you for always helping us get better as players and spending your free time with us. You're very appreciated.
And then super old on the left. Matthew, thank you so much for the $20 Super Chat. Matthew, you are a superstar. You're always supporting the channel. I appreciate it, man. It always brightens my day when I get Super Chat. So thank you ever so much. Thank you for helping us get better as players and spending your free time with us. Oh, well, do you know what? This week I've actually done a video about a model that Blood Angels I don't often use. So I'm trying to make sure I cover everything. Terminators aren't good yet, are they? Michael, I think they're good if you play that shield attachment that is built for Terminators. If you try and play Terminators for Blood Angels, no, I think you're right. I don't think they're good. I think they're a little bit too costly. I think the shooting ones are better than the assault ones, but I think overall the general consensus is that the Terminators are a little bit too costly. Dude, thanks, Matthew, man. Always hooking me up. Even hooking me up with old Firstborn Sanguinary Priest parts as well. So thanks for that, dude. Yeah, the old ones are crazy small, aren't they? Look at these ones. I don't care they're old models. I'm gonna just mix and match. My Terminator squads are gonna be some old, some new, some borrowed, some blue, you know? That sort of saying. So yeah. But yeah, no, I really don't think there'll be a Blood Angel specific Terminator box set. Like, someone posted on Reddit like yesterday about all the things that we've lost. And when you look at all the things we've lost and how little has been replaced, it's all it kind of just like you'll just be using Space Marine parts, and then I think it's up to you to customize them the best you can. Right? If you want your models to feel more Blood Angels, you need to buy 3D prints. You need to buy old sprues, and you need to put the work in, because the kits aren't going to give them. The kits you're getting these days just aren't designed to be chapter specific, at least for Blood Angels, right? Like, a good example is this. So I recently bought that Firstborn kit before it got Legends, because some people are like, it's sold out in the Games Workshop site now, maybe. So I bought. Look at this is from the Firstborn set. This little blood drop on the thing. So that's from the old size Terminator, like this one here. It looks absolutely fine on the new one, right? And then I even have like an old size shoulder pad. So this shoulder pad on this model is from that Firstborn kit. So this is one of the new models, and if you look, if you put them side by side with a new one, yeah, his shoulder pad is a little bit smaller, right? It is a little bit smaller, like maybe 10% smaller. But I'm just happy it gives you some Blood Angels heraldry on the model. So I don't really care that the shoulder pad's a tiny bit smaller. I'm just happy it's got some Blood Angels heraldry, right? So I've used some bits and bobs, the things that help us do our jobs, to customize some of these guys. Gabriel Seth was right. I mean, the Gabriel Seth thing is a meme at this point, but yeah, he was kind of right, yeah? Well, Gabriel Seth, where is he though? He's Legends, man. Archie's Forge is a wonderful drug. Yeah, I do recommend, if you've never used the website Archie's Forge, it's a great place for 3D printed parts. They were a sponsor in this year's charity raffle. For anyone that missed it, we raised like, I think it was over $2,000 we raised this year for the Children's Hospital. Oh god, it's what was it called again? I can't remember. It was suggested to me by some of my American viewers, because last year we did a charity stream for the UK, St Jude's Hospital, thank you. And this year we did a charity stream for the US. So I don't know where we're going to go next year, because we've done like that. The UK is one of my biggest audiences. I think US is probably the biggest. So UK is probably second biggest. Maybe in the future year we have to go to like Germany or something. I have a big German audience apparently, or at least my analytics tells me that. I missed a comment there. 1 second. I'm going to read your super chat in just a second.
99 pence via super chat. Keep up the amazing work. I've said it once, but I'll say it again. The best VA YouTuber going. Keeping the dream of Sanguinius alive. Drop off Bloodwing.
Oh, Alternus, you are so kind. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for watching. Do you know what? I think there is other good Blood Angels YouTubers, but maybe they don't focus quite as much on Blood Angels as I do. So there's other people doing well. But I know I do appreciate the sentiment. Thank you so much. Thanks for the super chat, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, sorry, I missed this comment. I do try and read everyone's comments. If I miss a comment, doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. Just means I get caught up in my own drivel sometimes. The comment was, me as a tech priest to the rogue trader that I built a ship for after I violated all of the codes to make it. Do you realize? Okay, hold on a minute. This guy's a bit crazy. Let me tell you something. If the rest of them can seize your videos, you post, and we fail this inspection, that they can condemn our ship and we'd have to move out of it. Okay, so some guy's role-playing as a tech priest in Twitch chat. I have no idea what you just said. Well, I mean, I've got an idea that you're saying that we'll get our like battle barge condemned or something, but I don't know why. Thanks, Alternus. I do appreciate the super chat. Very much appreciated. But yeah, so I'm just going to be here for a few hours tonight, chilling. We sometimes play games on Wednesdays. Obviously, I'm not playing a battle report this week. I think I need to get some new armies onto the battle reports, honestly. Flesh Terrors in the chat says, Days Number the Beast. Do you spray Mephiston and Evil Sun Red over the top? Yeah, exactly. Well, I tend to not used to use, excuse me. If I'm buying Games Workshop paints, yeah, I spray Mephiston. But I actually don't spray Mephiston anymore because I use Color Forge. I did a whole video on Color Forge. So I spray this now, which is Color Forge Sanguine Red, which is a really, oh shit buckets. It's a really, really close match for Mephiston Red, right? Like this is sprayed. That's the paint next to it. Like I think it's intended to be a match, right? And if you compare these cans to Games Workshop cans, these cans are 500 mils. Games Workshop cans are 400 mils, so straight away you're getting 25% more in Color Forge, right? And then the Color Forge cans are like about $10 here in the UK, and the Games Workshop cans are like $14.99. So you're getting 25% more and you're saving 25% on the cost of the cans. So like when you put the 25 plus 25 doesn't actually equal 50, but it's like 40% better value or something to use ColorForge. And if you get their gold, I don't know if I've got a can of their gold right now to show you what it's called. I've definitely got their black and I've got their white. They do a color match for Retributor Gold as well, and Retributor Gold's got ridiculous in the UK now. I think you're £22 a can or something. So like in dollars, that must be like $30 a can for Retributor Gold. Whereas like the ColorForge one, for that one, it's half price. And again, you're getting more in the can, so you're getting more and it's costing you half the price. So honestly, ColorForge should sponsor me, man, because when people ask me, I'm always binging them up like, hey, someone reach out to ColorForge and get them to sponsor me. I actually made a video on like side-by-side comparison, and like there's the difference is so minute. I don't think, the only time I buy Games Workshop sprays now is if the ColorForge stuff's out of stock, honestly, because I just think it's so good. Have you done any changes to your 2,000 point army since your last video? Still doing Meth, an Apothecary, and 2 Jump Captains. That is correct, Michael. I've played that list now. I think it's 6 or 7 times, and it won every game except one, and the game it lost was by 1 point. So at the moment, it's a bit unorthodox. It's maybe not the most meta list you've ever seen, but I'm really liking Hellblasters. Aradine, good evening, how are you? Like, I have fallen in love with plasma weaponry, even more so if you've got a way to remove cover. Because Strength 8, AP 3, Flat 2, remove cover, and then shoot again on death if you die, it's just really, really good, honestly. So yeah, I think, obviously in Angelic Inheritors I'm running 2 Impulsors, and I'm putting Hellblasters in both. Would I still run Hellblasters in Liberator Assault Group? I could be tempted to maybe run 1 squad of them. I think it would be fine. Maybe not quite as good, but like, I have fallen in love with Hellblasters. After having them, it's quite funny because they sat on my shelf for the best part of like, probably the best part of like 7 or 8 years or something. But now, no, I just love the Hellblasters. I just love them. I just think they're, you know, I think the difference is that like normally Blood Angels, to get Strength 8 AP 3, you need to jump right on into melee. And usually when you're in there at melee, you just get chewed up, right? Hellblasters just give us something different. Desolation Marines, man, they're too expensive. 40 points per model is what you're looking at with the Desolation Marines, right? Whereas like the Hellblasters are what, 22? Yeah? 22 a model, I think? 40 points per model for a Marine with a 3-up save and only 2 wounds is pretty overcosted. Like, you could give them the best gun in the game. I still think that's too expensive for what it is. I'm trying to think what is the best gun in the game. It's not Doom, it can't be a BFG, right? But you could give them a BFG 9000 and I still think that'd be too expensive at 40 points per model. Like, that's crazy. If Sangre Guard are like... No, what are Sangre Guard? 45? Is that right? Yeah, if Sangre Guard are 45 per model for an extra, a jump pack, an extra wound, a 4-up invuln save, and then, you know, a pretty nice defensive profile if you get into melee. Yeah, just... Wally's getting ready to paint his first combat patrol. Well, first combat patrol in general, or first Warhammer patrol in general, or just, you know, you painted other armies, Wally, or is this the start of the start for you? Desolation Marines for both home field objective holding and late game strong wipe. I mean, I guess I could give Desolation Marines another try. Every time I play against them, I find them kind of underwhelming, I must admit. The only army I've seen where I thought Desolation Marines were quite good was Dark Angels, because they've got a stratagem that lets them add strength to the weaponry. I think it's just like a random stratagem where they can just do like any unit. We're going to give this unit's ranged weaponry +2 strength. And I thought that was pretty good in the Desolation Marines because obviously like they've got a decent amount of indirect fire. So being able to push an extra 2 strength onto that indirect fire I felt was pretty cool. But without that, like strength 4 indirect fire, I find it hard to get excited about that, right? You know, I guess I find it hard to get excited about strength 4 fire in general, right? Like even if you're running the new intercessors, or the intercessors with the new bolt rifles, where like everybody's pulling like 4 bolter shots. It's still not massive, right? It's still not super strong. It's better than it was, obviously. But like it's somewhat hard for me to get excited about strength 4. And then Desolation Marines are basically AP 0 and your opponent's going to get cover most of the time. So yeah, it's really hard to get excited about that. For 200 points, I put the Sanguinary Guard jump packs on my officers and I'm putting the winged ones on Archie's Forge on my Sanguinary Guard. Well, that's the one advantage of buying that Combat Patrol. I guess you get 6 of those new jump packs that you're not going to use. I bought a lot of those jump packs from the 3D prints as well, because I feel like my Sanguinary Guard like to have wings. It's just a choice, right? Mine have decided that they like to have wings. So I'm doing 3D printed jump packs for all my Sanguinary Guard because I don't like the new ones without wings. But yeah, it's a cool idea to then use the ones from the Combat Patrol as a potential like character upgrade or conversion opportunities, right? Conversions are one of my favorite things about War. I mean, probably in order of playing, or in order of things, for me anyway, it's probably like playing the game and then conversions first, and then painting is third, I'd say. I converted up a Primaris Captain on a bike recently. He's just sat there. He's like I did actually consider putting some paint on him in the stream because I've just sprayed him with the same red, this what's it called? Sanguine red. The Vanguard strength 7. Yeah, the Vanguard gets D6 shots though, right? So a bad roll and you're only getting 1 shot. And again, it's AP 1. And again, your opponent's probably getting cover against indirect, which means AP 0, potentially. So I think Desolation Marines were really, really strong when you could run them as 10s. I think they're average at best when you run them at 5s, but I think they're just too expensive right now. It's my opinion, right? I noted John needs a model holder, so he doesn't... I've got one! Where is it? You're making fun of me, are you, Jason? Hello, Jason. Nice to see you. I do have one! You know, I would honestly lose my head if it wasn't attached to my body. And I mean, it should be around here with all the painting stuff. I mean, I'm just doing base coating, Jason. I don't really care if I get red on my fingers. But no, I hear you. If you've got OCD or anything like, look, it's right behind me. There we go. Look, I get red on the base holder. There you go. Jesus, Jason, man, can't take you anywhere. Do you know what? Sometimes holding this thing in front of the magnifying glass is a pain in the arse though, so it is sometimes nice to just hold it with your fingers. But yeah, I suppose painting your fingers isn't ideal, is it? I converted Lieutenant Titus into a Death Company jump captain. He turned out well. Oh dude, I'd like to see that. Could you post him in like the members Discord room? If nothing else, I would like to use that image to wind up Marius Gage, you know? But I would also quite like to see it, because I guess his pose would probably lend himself to like a death company quite nicely. Good idea, because I mean, who wanted more Ultramarine models anyway? Best to change them into Blood Angels, right? I get you. Good idea. Yeah, I'm having a good day, Jason. How are you? No, I'm having quite a chill day, actually. My kids have been going to bed well this week. I don't know why. Nothing's changed. It's just been easy this week for some reason. Sometimes bedtime is a bloody nightmare, but this week it's been good. Oh no, Marius is in the chat. No, Marius, I mean, I love the Lieutenant Titus model. I think he looks perfect as he is, as an Ultramarine, and it would be heretical to ever decide to change him from anything other than an Ultramarine. How are you, Marius? You were at a GT this weekend, Marius. How'd you get on? I imagine it can't have been that good, because if you got on really well, you would have told me. You'd have, you were playing Ultramarines though, so I mean, there's disadvantages in that, I guess. Marius is calling the chaplain as we speak. Yeah. We've been reported to the Inquisition. I haven't quite completed Space Marine 2 yet. I think I'm on the last level now. Or at least Mark was telling me I think I'm on the last level. I think I'm done with competitive 40k. Oh. Dude, I went 1 at 4 in my last event. Maybe it's just an Ultramarines thing, eh? I mean, I say that in jest a little bit. Yeah, I kind of thought about buying the new Titus model. I mean, I've got a bunch of other Ultramarines characters, but when I was playing Stormlance, I was definitely considering running Titus, but I ended up running like a regular lieutenant, and then Tigris is very good in Stormlance, or Tigurius. So I ended up running Tigurius and a regular lieutenant, and ended up not needing Titus. There's going to be a book about Titus, is there? Obviously there was the animation on Amazon Prime, but it was very, very short. That's the thing you know, like when I was watching Warhammer TV, that was the thing I disliked the most, was like the length of the episodes of the animations, you know? Like I felt like I was just getting into it and it was like, oh, it's finished. I think the one on Warhammer was, sorry, the one on Amazon was the same, like 17 minutes or something. Hopefully over time the animations and stuff get longer, because for me it just 17 minutes feels like I'm just getting into it. Greetings, Alex, good evening. Did anyone pre-order that Thunderhammer Captain this weekend past then? I mean, the thing I suppose about it is, like, a lot of Blood Angels players probably already have a lot of captains with jump packs with Thunderhammers and Storm Shield, right? Like, I think most of us already have that. Bearded Coyote did. I'm waiting for Warhammer Day. Oh, do you get, like, a special bonus if you buy it on Warhammer Day or something, do you? You gotta go to the store and you'll get, like, spend a little bit more money, get something cool or something like that? Is that what they do? I must admit, it's a real pain in the arse that the nearest Warhammer store for me is like an hour and a half drive. I basically never go to Warhammer Day just because of that. I mean, you can run a captain with a relic shield for Blood Angels, and it can be good. The cool thing about it is if you give them the Gift of Foresight, you can guarantee some devastating wounds, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Like, guaranteed devastating wounds can be pretty useful. There's not many ways in the Blood Angels book to guarantee devastating wounds, you know? That might be one of the few ways. Might be the only way, actually, to guarantee dev wounds. My Warhammer store is 3 miles away. Well, mine's like 75. It's a pain in the dick. Really annoying when you just want like one paint or something as well, that the nearest store is 75 miles away. I've got like a little hobby store locally, but they don't always have all the stock that you would get, you know, from the Games Workshop store, I guess. Oh, use the Wargame Portal link. Thanks, Bearded Coyote. I appreciate it. How is the service from Wargame Portal, by the way? Like, it's pretty good, because they seem like, when I speak to them, they seem really friendly and really, you know, like the guy will message me and is like, "We're getting so many of these captains. We're releasing them at this time. If you want to put a post out." It just seems really good on his level of communication. You know that, like, sometimes in life people are really good at communicating, sometimes they are not. He seems like the guy. I can't remember the guy's name who owns it right now, but I do have an email from him like just last week, and he's like really friendly, and he's always giving me the scoop when they've got stock and stuff for release. The GW store near me rarely has what they need. Yeah, do you know what? The one near me is quite a big one, because I know you get some big GW stores and you get some very small GW stores, but the one near me is big. It's just the problem is it's just not that near. Well, we do have a hobby store in Elgin, but like I said, it's not Games Workshop. It's just a independent store, and they stock loads of things, right? So because they stock loads of things, they don't always have what you need from the Games Workshop section. They stock, you know, it's cards and the various Star Wars games. There's so many Star Wars games now. There's like Legion, there's Shatterpoint, there's another one, the card one, Unlimited, Star Wars Unlimited. Yeah, there's just a lot of Star Wars games at the moment that seem to be quite popular. I mean, Star Wars is popular in general, right? It's coming back after the disaster of the sequel trilogy. Thanks, Bearded Coyote. I appreciate it. The Tokyo one was small. But 2 stories. The one in Edinburgh is tiny. I'm trying to think if I know the one in Edinburgh. I know the one in Glasgow. I can't think where the one in Edinburgh is, actually. I remember the Forbidden Planet in Glasgow was absolutely tiny. Like, it's probably the smallest Forbidden Planet ever. The one in Glasgow. I think it might even be... No, I don't think it... Is it shut down? I was saying, maybe it shut down. I don't remember. But I remember it being exceedingly small. So this arm fell off the metal model, and of course, because it's metal, the paint chipped. Gotta love that good old metal. Have you seen Hobbycraft started selling GW stuff? I don't know if we have Hobbycraft here in Scotland, or at least I'm far enough north in Scotland that like maybe, you know, like maybe it's a thing down in the big cities, but up in the very north of Scotland. I don't think, well, I definitely don't have a Hobbycraft in my city. Man, that assault cannon looks bent. Like a big giant bit of bent metal. Nice. This model is probably older than some people in chat, because it's probably from 2nd or 3rd edition. There's a Hobbycraft in Dundee. Alright, where about in Dundee? Hello, Highland Phoenix. How's things? Are you getting enough sleep yet? Do you know, it's probably been like 6 months, actually, Highland. Every time I see you, Highland Phoenix, I'm thinking about you and having your young child and what that's like. But it's probably, they're probably like is it 6 months now? Nah, time flies, but I bet you it's up where Toys R Us used to be. Alright, okay. Hobbycraft near me had a piss poor selection of GW. I mean, that's what you get with resellers, right? Like, sometimes they have good selections, some resellers have everything, other resellers just have like some of the most common boxes, and then other ones just don't have a good stock. Like, the one near me does have a decent stock, and does have a good variety in the range, but like, still sometimes you just want a specific character or captain or something like that, and then they just won't have that. 7 months old, wow. They say the first 3 months is the hardest, Highland Phoenix, so you've got this. Smashing it, man. My little girl started school like I guess just this summer past. Crazy, man. Time flies. She was, when I started this channel, she was like less than 1 year old. Not much sleep, no hobby time. It gets better, man. Like, my two go to sleep now at like 7:30, and then the rest of the evening is pretty much mine. That's why you always see me drinking coffee at the start of my live streams, right? It's like, I've just put the kids to bed. It's time to get a coffee, get some energy, do some painting, do some daddy time, or whatever you want to call it. Battlefield 6. I've played that a little bit. I'm level 8 or something. Evening, Chris. How you doing? Have you ever been to the Lagavulin distillery? I want to visit when I come over there. Do you know what? I've been wanting to get a bottle of Lagavulin because I don't really think I've ever drunk Lagavulin, which is weird, Bearded Coyote, because I've drunk a lot of whiskey. Lagavulin, alright, it's next to Ardbeg. Alright, it's Lagavulin and Ardbeg are not on the Scottish mainland. They are on the west of Scotland, and they're on an island that is spelled I-S-L-A-Y, so it looks like Islay, but it's pronounced Islay, right? So it's an Islay whiskey, right? I'm pretty sure it's pronounced, the S is silent. Islay pronunciation. Yeah, you pronounce it like, I'll just put it in chat. You pronounce it Islay. Isla? So it's spelled I-S-L-A-Y, but it's pronounced A-I space L-U-H. So no, do you know, that's probably why I've not drunk it. Actually, Lefroy is out there as well. I've drunk Lefroy, I've drunk Ardbeg, I've drunk Jura's on that island too. But I've never really drunk Lagavulin, which is a surprise because I generally drink a lot of whiskey. It's also very far south. It's like one of the southernmost distilleries in Scotland, and I am right up here in the north of Scotland. So you'd have to go from one end of the country to the other. But you should totally visit. If you visit, there's so many distilleries you should go to. I'm near the Macallan distillery. There is a lot of peat on the island. Yeah, I think they all make their whiskey with peat on the island. Because I think all the whiskies that come from that island are all smoky whiskies. Because Ardbeg is quite smoky. Jura, do you know what? Jura can be smoky. I think Jura actually do a sweet whiskey as well. And then Ardbeg is definitely that's definitely a peaty whiskey. But no, I'm really I'm like half an hour from the Macallan, which is obviously like the Macallan's a little bit of a trap, right? Like it's the whiskey with the best marketing in the world, I would say. And they like brand themselves as the world's best whiskey, but whiskey is such a subjective taste thing. That's like, you know, that's like saying, you know, like McDonald's brand themselves as a great burger maker. Like, there's a lot better burgers out there than McDonald's, right? But like, McDonald's bread and butter is their like quarter pounder or their Big Mac, you know? Hold on. Highland Phoenix, membership of 56 months. Dude, talking about time flies. 56 months of Blood Angels Commander membership, worth every penny and every minute. Remember, it's a Blood Angels Command, or it's BAC, not ABC. Highland Phoenix, thanks so much. 56 months. The channel is only just hit like... The channel is only 62 months old, I think. So, I say only. I'm 45 years old and I've never had a whiskey. Dude, I mean, the hangover I had on Saturday... Sorry, my wife's birthday was on Saturday. The hangover I had on Sunday morning... I never want to drink whiskey again. No, I mean, like, Sunday morning was rough for me. Like, that... I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much just wanted to curl up into a ball and let the world swallow me up. That's how bad I felt. And I had to drive like 100 miles. But yeah, Bearded Coyote, if you visit Scotland. Oh, that's what I was to say. If you visit Scotland, you got to book in advance, man. You'd be surprised at how quickly those distilleries book out. Like, I was looking at one, Balvenie. I think they book out like 6 months in advance the tours. So if you're coming and you want to get a tour, you need to be on the ball. Like, don't leave it like 6 weeks before, 8 weeks before. You won't be able to book. Who would have known that whiskey tours were popular, huh? Frankenstein says, man, I'm so jealous. Some people just get their stuff done. I'm sitting on a scout sergeant for the better parts of 3 weeks now, and he's nearly done. I think the trick, Frank, is to just paint every day. And you don't even need to finish stuff every day. It's just to put the time aside and make some progress every day. That's how I feel. Because I think if you, like, you know, like, I think it's just build the habit of put paint on models. Sit down, get your paints out, put paint on models. Like, if you're consistent, you'll get a lot done, right? So, like, build the habit, build the consistency, and you know, don't worry about the end result, just worry about the action of doing, and the end results will come. The tours probably fill up with a lot of crazy Americans. You know what? They're always revamping the distilleries here, and they're always improving them. Like the Macallan just made this giant new distillery, man. And obviously on the tours, you get a bunch of, you typically get a bunch of drinks, or a bunch of whiskeys on the tours. So, you know, people locally will just still go to the tours as well, because they want to try the whiskeys and the stuff from the tours. When James came over, one of the guys that watches the channel came over to Scotland, he actually paid for me and him to go on a tour of a distillery. And he paid for some sort of crazy thing where at the end of the tour, I think we got like 6 whiskeys each or something. And I was like, oh my goodness, James. So we got this tour, and then we got like 6 shots of whiskey. I did actually find a new whiskey I'd never tried at that tour, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to buy a bottle of this now because it's lovely. But yeah, no, the Scottish whiskey tours fill up quickly. It's crazy. Progress, not perfection. Yeah, exactly. Christopher says, a rage-fueled jump pack captain with Thunderhammer leading 3 Sangreguard with spears. When oathed, 12 chances for 6s on hits. Should be about 12 to 15 attacks with dev wounds. Captain alone, plus 15 from the Sangreguard. Thoughts? A captain with a jump pack gets 5 attacks. So if you're with Oath, you're re-rolling 5, looking for some 6s. Yeah, I mean, the captain can definitely hit like 12. You can definitely proc like 12 hits. I don't know if you saw the video I did, but the first time I used that Rage-Fueled Warrior, I rolled every 6. So I put on a captain with 5 attacks. I got 5 6s. It was like a live stream as well on the channel. It was too, like, I had my chaplain with the power fist hit 20 times with his power fist because of Rage-Fueled Warrior. I mean, the unit he was with didn't even roll for combat in the attack because the chaplain just wiped what they were charging himself. The problem I have with Rage-Fueled Warriors, it's so damn swingy, right? Like, one game you'll do that where you just wipe something off, the next game you don't roll any 6s. So I don't run Rage-Fueled Warrior myself anymore because I don't like the swing. But if you're willing to play around the swing, or you like a little bit of RNG in your Warhammer 40,000, then he's a great character. He definitely brings the RNG. Whiskey tours are dangerous. Yes, whiskey tours are dangerous. I mean, anywhere that sells whiskey, if you're with me, is somewhat dangerous. But yeah, we were on a lot of whiskey on Saturday night. Yeah, I was feeling. I'm actually pretty surprised I didn't spew up on Sunday morning because I was not in a good place this Sunday. It's like I'm 42 years old, but yeah, 42 now. But I can still F up and drink way too much. Like, when will I learn? Apparently never. Do you have any factions you consider hard to paint? Yeah, Blood Angels. No, I'm joking. I don't really paint anything beyond Blood Angels. Like, I occasionally paint other games, man. But, like, I don't really paint any Warhammer that isn't Blood Angels. Like, I think in here I was working on some tom-toms, right? Oh, there's a Mandalorian stuck on his head. Hold on. Yeah, like, I was working on some tom-toms for Star Wars. I was working on some Hoth base Echo Troopers. They're like nowhere. I think I've got Boba Fett in here somewhere as well. This is a cool model though. I like that. Kind of iconic from the Hoth. So yeah, no, I don't really paint too much stuff that isn't Warhammer 40,000. Like, this box of Star Wars is like my one guilty pleasure, and honestly, I probably haven't opened that box in 6 months. I just paint 40k really. The model I found the most difficult to paint recently is Gilliman, because I'm trying to paint him as a Blood Angel, and like, oh my god, does he have a lot of trim on his body. It's actually kind of ridiculous. It's going to take me like 6 hours to do the trim on Gilliman, honestly. He's just got so much trim. I'm close to the Jack Daniel's distillery and you don't have to pre-reserve months in advance. Well, in Scotland apparently, maybe because the distilleries are smaller, man. You do have to pre-book in advance. And if you're going to somewhere like Macallan, you probably need to book 6 months in advance. Have I sold off the Eldar yet? No, but I've got someone who offered 300. He said he didn't have the money right now. And I'm probably gonna take it. Just because I'm not doing Eldar. I'm just doing all variants of Adeptus Astartes. So I'm going to be doing, next edition when the new Space Marine Codex comes out, I'm going to do more than just Blood Angels. I'm going to play some Ultramarines. I'm going to play some, well, I've got Black Templars now as well. I'll probably buy Azrael or something. So I'll do some Dark Angels. I don't know. My plan is to continue to do Blood Angels as primary army, and occasionally when the Blood Angels rules suck, because they seem to suck at least once every edition. When they suck, like last edition I was playing some Black Templars, this edition I was playing some Stormlance Ultramarines, next edition maybe I'll play like, you know, if I only need to buy like one model, and I can proxy their army because I've got everything else, that's realistically what I'm doing, right? But yeah, no, I think I'm good. Like, I've had the Eldar army now for like, well, I bought it in January and I've never played with it, and I've only painted it on one session. And I always come back to the fact that my like Blood Angels, like I still have models that I need to finish. You know, I like look at this guy. This is a model from like fucking 2nd edition or something that's not finished. So the idea behind Eldar, I had good intentions, but I'm just not doing it. And you know what? What's funny is Eldar have a really good win rate this edition. Like, go look at their win rate. It's one of the top ones in the entire meta. But I just would rather stick with Space Marines, because I feel like then I can use all my painted stuff. And even if Blood Angels are bad, I can still use 90% of my painted stuff, because I've got every unit in the Space Marine Codex painted in red, right? If not every unit, close to it. Is the dawn of Space Marine Commander? Well, I think I could be wrong, but I think because we're at the end of the edition, people are a little bit bored of my battle reports. Like, the view numbers are down on all of them. And I wonder if that's just because, like, I've made 100 battle reports with Liberator Assault Group, I've made 100 battle reports with Angelic Inheritors, and they're you know, the other two detachments are not competitive detachments. So I think if I had not too much more variety, I still want to be primarily a Blood Angels Commander channel, or a Blood Angels channel. But like a little bit of variety when the rules are a bit in a shit place, or a little bit of variety here or there. That is my plan, I think. The red put on this model, dude, like this model is 20 years old, honestly. It's metal, God knows when it was painted. I'm just gonna paint over probably and get it to some sort of like, the base is all messed up as well. I don't even know what's on the base. Are you saying the Hounds of Mordecai will come back? No one's saying that. No one is saying that. They have the crown of the first ever Legends Primaris unit, and that will not change. Man, it's been so many years since I watched Dumb and Dumber. That was from Dumb and Dumber. Apparently YouTube is not counting views for ad block anymore. Well, I mean, maybe it's that, man. Maybe people with ad block are not counting as views. I just thought people might be bored of the fact that we only have 2 detachments to play. I mean, in a weird way, I was a little bit bored. That's why I went and played Stormlands for like 2 months. I mean, I didn't just play Stormlands because I was like, fuck it, I'll play Stormlands. I played Stormlands because I was frustrated and or bored. With the fact that we only have 2 detachments, right? I'm human just like you guys. I can get frustrated, you know, just the same, I guess. And it is frustrating when you look at the win rates week on week and you see your army at like 45% and you're like, well, you know, I'm going to a tournament this weekend with my 45% army. Oh, I'm playing against an Eldar guy who's on a 60% army. Fun. You know, like, that's a thing that happens. Or it was Knights as well, 60% win rate Knights. Here's my 45% Blood Angels. Hopefully that Knight player's scared of me, you know. Branch out, look at Codex Space Marines or something more. I already am branched out here and there, man. when I see something, basically, if I see a detachment that looks cool for Space Marines and I can field all my Blood Angels units without buying anything else, then I will cover it, right? It's as simple as that. And that's what that Emperor's Shield detachment from a few weeks ago, and also that Shadow Mark Talon detachment that's a 60% win rate army. I haven't actually set up a game yet for next week, Marius. Like I said, I thought people were tuned out on my battle reports. Plus I've got so much painting I need to get done. So I was kind of wanting to put at least a bit of paint on these Terminators, because I was kind of thinking that I might like to run the Emperor's Shield detachment with 20 bolter Terminators. And I don't think I've fielded more than like 5 or 10 bolter Terminators ever. So fielding 20 would be a bit crazy, but I was kind of thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, I know that people have said that YouTube, the algorithm has been weird, that views have been down. My views have been up actually, but then I've been branching out, so I would assume that my views would be up, because YouTube tells me how big my audience is on any given week. Like, it literally says, like, your videos were shown to 15,000 different people. So my audience, over the last, let's say, like, 6 months, or like, yeah, maybe 6 months ago, the audience on my channel was like 18,000. And because there's been no Blood Angels releases in the last, I guess, 6 months, the audience has dipped a little bit, like down to like 15,000 or something. But then I made that video about Land Raider, and then I made that video about the Emperor's Talon, and then it was like, your audience is now 25,000. So obviously, like, if I do a generic video, I do attract a bunch of other people, right? Like, it makes sense. So I hadn't, and because I've been doing, like, a few weeks, I've been doing 2 videos a week. I mean, I've actually got 2 videos coming out this week. I've got one coming out on Friday and one coming out on Sunday. So I do actually have 2 videos this week. And in weeks where I do more videos, my views have still been higher. So I just assumed the live streams were maybe, like, people had seen everything they wanted to see from Angelic Inheritors and Liberator Assault Group on my channel. But maybe not. I mean, I definitely, like, let's say the new codex comes out tomorrow and there's a new detachment. Let's just call it the Commander detachment. If I made a video on the Commander detachment, I know straight away it would make, like, it would get like 10,000 more views, right? Because it's like, oh, new thing, shiny thing, everyone's excited, everyone wants to see how it does, right? Like that, you know, I get that. I mean, that's why people make, like, the rumor content all the time, right? Because, like, all the rumor content is like lots of people want to know what's next, lots of people excited about the future. Gets a lot of views, right? That's why drama content does really well, you know, as well. I don't do the drama content. I hate the channels. Yeah, I think hate is the right word. It's a strong word, but I hate it. Like, if a channel just wants to thrive on drama, I just don't watch it, man. Don't you have enough drama in your own life to see YouTube drama? I know I do. Alex says, I personally find lag very boring. I don't think lag is a boring detachment. I think some people might think it's boring now because it has been the de facto default for 2.5 years, or yeah, because lag wasn't really that much different from Sons of Sanguinius, right? So it's like, if you only have one detachment for like 2 years, it will become boring. I've been hearing people saying Poor Hammer. I don't know Poor Hammer actually, saying YouTube isn't paying out the same. Well, I mean, I think that I mean, my views are down. Like, my views will be up next year when there's the new edition. My views will be up when there's the new Space Marine Codex again. My views will be up when there's the new Blood Angels Codex. I just figured it's the last year of the edition. Views would be a bit less. People sometimes check out a little bit at the end of the edition. Have I got enough for a 3,000 or 4,000 point game? I mean, I've got enough points for a 4,000 point game, Colin. How many hours does it take to play 4,000 points though? And do we have a big enough table? for a 4,000 point game, right? Like, because surely you need a bigger map if you're trying to put twice as much stuff on the table. I've always got a soft spot for Imperial Fists and White Scars. They were at the gate with the Blood Angels defending the Palace of Terra. Yeah, I do want to play the Imperial Fist detachment. I think that would be cool. I mean, if I play the Imperial Fist detachment on stream, does that mean I've played more games with Imperial Fist this edition if I play it once than Valrak? Does that give me his Chapter Master title? He would not like that, would he? Shots fired. Someone clip that. I mean, who plays 4,000 point games? Like, anyone in chat plays 4,000 point games. How long does that take to play a 4,000 point game? Like, it's gonna be like 5 hours, right? But yeah, like with these guys Prime now, and with a little bit of TLC loving for their bases, I should have enough to play 20 Bolter Terminators. So I think I could run that Imperial Fist detachment for a battle report. I tried it once. We did half on a Friday night and the second half on a Saturday morning. Yeah, so it's probably going to take like 5 hours. It was very clear after turn 2 who would win. Yeah, I feel like I remember in the olden days when you had these giant battles that you sort of knew very quickly. I mean, Apocalypse was alternative activations for a while, wasn't it? And then Apocalypse was also, if your unit died, it still got to perform its turn, right? Which edition was that? Was that 9th edition Apocalypse? I haven't played Apocalypse in like honestly couldn't remember the last time I played Apocalypse. So like, it's going to be, at that point, it's going to be like 20 plus years. Like, I don't think I haven't played Apocalypse since I came back to the hobby, which was like, came back in like almost a decade ago at this point. And I was out of the hobby for like 6 or 7 years. So yeah, it must be like at least 15 years since I've played Apocalypse. I vote for a stream for the White Scars detachment. Do you know what? When I see the new White Scars detachment, let me decide if I can do a video or a stream about it. I would definitely like to do a couple of the new detachments for battle reports. Just like I think I'm going to go to a tournament in January, and I think I'm pretty much set on playing Angelic Inheritors. I'm pretty much set on the list that I played last week against Colin. Like, I don't think I'll change too much. But I think I would like to, you know, like, if I know that that's my list and it's kind of locked in, I would like to just play something else for a bit of fun, to pass some time and do to make the live stream a little bit more varied than just like, oh, here's me playing the same Angelic Inheritors tournament list like the 7th time in a row. My 2K games last 5 hours on average. 5 hours for 2,000 points, man. You gotta get yourself a clock, man. Where's the GT in January? Yeah, I think it's gonna be Inverness. I think it'll be Lock and Load. I think they said they were doing one in probably near the end of January. My group has set up tanks. Or Tanksgiving, excuse me. 2 groups of 4 players, monsters and vehicle, cap is 3,000 per player, 6 hours. And what size board are you using? Like, are you using the standard size board for that? Or just push the board away and use the floor? What do you do? Apocalypse was alternative activations and damage was done at the end of the turn. Yeah, I mean that would definitely help keep it a bit more balanced, right? So is there an Apocalypse rule set for 10th then, or are you supposed to just use the 9th edition Apocalypse? Because that's what that was, right? Alternative activations. With a double-sized normal table. Oh, interesting. William says, hey, quick question. I have 170 points left, and I'm between putting a Furioso and a Storm Talon in my list because I need something that hits hard. Which would you say is better? Well, the Furioso is a legend. Like, you know it's a Legends model, right? Like, you can't use it in competitive play. And aircraft are difficult to play as well because aircraft can't hold objectives, can't do actions. Can aircraft do actions? Surely not. I actually don't know. No one fields aircraft. Like, literally, people barely field aircraft these days. A Brutalis? I would say Brutalis is okay, man. I mean, I played one at the last tournament I was at. If you use Tank Shock with it, it can be okay. It's not amazing. If I had to pick that over a flyer, yeah, probably take that because at least it's something on the board. It can hold something. It's got decent OC. It's got 2-up save. You know, it can do a bunch of mortals on the charge. Yeah, I would take a Brutalis over a flyer probably. The trick with the Brutalis is how you get it in nice and close, though, because I think that it's pretty tricky to be able to do that with its 8-inch move. Like, you might even want to consider rapid ingressing it, honestly. In hover mode, it can do actions. What have you been watching on TV as of late? Do you know what? I haven't watched anything lately. I mean, I watch a lot of sports, right? So, like, lately I've watched sports. But I did go to the cinema to see Tron, because I really like Tron. And I am planning next week to watch the new season of Last of Us, because I bought that on DVD. I've never played the Last of Us video games, but I really like the first season. So I haven't been watching much, but if you haven't gone and seen Tron, I think it only came out this weekend, I'd go and see it. I liked it a lot, actually, yeah. So obviously, like, I love the second Tron movie, absolutely love it. And the soundtrack for the second Tron movie was like one of my favourite soundtracks, possibly of all time. Like, I just thought the soundtrack in that second movie was amazing. And I listened to the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack for the new movie, because new movie is 9 Inch Nails, and I wasn't 100% sold on it until I saw it in the theatre, like, with the visuals, right? And, like, with the visuals, and they got the volume pretty loud as well. At least the theatre I was in. Tron Legacy was great, but it flopped. Well, it became a cult classic, I think, right? Like, I think that's probably why they made a new one, because every Tron movie fails in the cinema and then comes back as a cult classic, right? I think that's what happens when you try and make like a video game movie or a video, like, yeah, they don't do that well in the cinema, right? But yeah, no, when you like, you almost have to go and see it just for the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack and the fact that in the cinema they're going to pump the volume up and it's going to be pretty epic. So I mean, that part of it was great. Like I listened to the soundtrack before I went, and I wasn't sold on the soundtrack. I was like, it's no Daft Punk, is it? You know? And then I saw it and was like, okay, yeah, the soundtrack is pretty awesome. And obviously, like, every song on the soundtrack is timed to go with what you're seeing on screen. It's not like the Daft Punk soundtrack is probably more impactful because you remember the part of the movie when you hear the soundtrack, right? You know? I fight for the users. Is it on in Elgin, Colin? I watched it in IMAX last weekend. The seat shook from the volume, or the seat shook because the IMAX, like, I know that you get those special seats that actually shook, or the seats shook for the volume. I hope it does well, man. I love Tron. I hope they do more movies. I actually really like the cartoon as well, you know, where Elijah Wood was the main character. Don't know if you've seen the cartoon. It's on Disney Plus. So no, I'm a huge Tron fan. If anyone has any Tron merchandise they don't want, I'll happily take it. The kids are off school next week for the school holidays. I was planning to watch the Tron cartoon with my kid because I don't think I ever actually finished it. I mean, he's only 3. But, you know, it's a cartoon. He'll get it. He's pretty clever. He likes Star Wars. We watched Empire Strikes Back. He's only 3. Darth Vader was a little bit scary, but he enjoyed it, I think. I mean, he did enjoy it because I put it on. Like, we'd watched it one time, and I put it on again just to show him like a bit of the space battle. And then I was like gonna switch it off, and he was like, "Dad, can we watch some more of this?" So he did enjoy it. William says, my 2 friends I play Death Guard and Tau. God, Death Guard players, they're the worst, aren't they? It's such a no-skill army. Like, you just turn up with your army, you put it on the table, and you're like, oh, here's my durable Death Guard that just kill everything. Like, such a no... And then Tau. You just sit 1,000 meters away and just blow everything off the table. Oh, boring no-skill armies. You know, I am being sarcastic. Only a little bit, though. They've been playing 10 years longer than me, so I lose 3 out of 4 times. Tau are difficult to deal with because they'll outrange you and they shoot harder than you shoot. And then Death Guard are actually difficult to deal with because they make you like toughness 3 and then they just slaughter you. Like the stream. Yeah, please do like the stream. How many likes have we got on this stream tonight? 22. Let's make it 50. So there is 58 people in the chat. So Death Guard has been shit for 7 years. It's our time to shine. Do you know what? Death Guard were really good like 3 months ago, and now they have been nerfed. Not to obscurity, but their win rate is like plummeting. I don't know if you know the podcast, Disgustingly Resilient Podcast. He's a podcast that specializes in Death Guard. And he made a video, I think it was like yesterday, that was like looking at the Death Guard win rate. And see, after that last balanced data slate, their win rate has really tanked, man. Like, it was high 50s, I think now it's mid 40s. So I think whatever they did to balance Death Guard, I don't remember it. They made the Plague drones a bit more expensive. I think they made some other units more expensive as well. They've really hurt their win rate. Like it feels like it was an overtune, if that makes sense. Because sometimes they do that. Like, you know, they can't get them balanced, so they just overtune their points a little bit too much, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they overtuned most of their good units, now they're just dog shit. Take care, Phil. Thanks for hanging out. Strange Leaf says he liked it. He's up to 23 likes. Steven says, I tried watching Lord of the Rings with my lad aged 4 or 5. mistakes were made. You know what? I was thinking age 4 or 5 is more Harry Potter, right? Lord of the Rings is surely like 8, 9, 10, something like that. I mean, it sucks having to wait to show your kids these things. You want to hang out with them, you want to do things with them, but sometimes you maybe just have to wait a minute more. You know, I showed my 3-year-old son the 1986 Transformers movie, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it. At the end, it was so funny actually, like at the end of the movie, you know, when Unicron's like eating the planets, at one point he just grabbed me and he's like, "Dad, Unicron's gonna eat the planet!" And I was like, "Yeah, Michael, that's what he does." And he's like losing his mind, like thinking Unicron's just gonna like come and eat planet Earth while he's just chilling one day. Oh, it's funny. But no, he loved that movie. Apart from obviously Unicron causing horrific nightmares for people. I mean, Unicron was pretty scary, right? Have you got enough terrain with your friends? On a low terrain board, Tau and Death Guard will towel you up with enough terrain. It's all about staging, choosing where to turn up. Yeah, you almost need, if you're not playing on tournament level terrain, you should invest in a set of tournament terrain, because it's night and day. If you don't have enough terrain on the table, you can't play Warhammer 40k properly. Especially like Blood Angels are not a durable army at all. So if there isn't enough terrain on the board to hide your models effectively, to let you get the jump and play the way that we're kind of supposed to be played, you're going to have quite a bad time, I would say. Death Guard are fine, says Colin. I thought Disgusting and Resilient were saying they're a little bit weak now. Transformers 84 is amazing. Yeah. That, for me, all those new Transformers movies, Michael Bay, hundreds of millions in budget, none of them come close to Transformers from 1984. You know that? William says, based on the announced future releases, which Primark do you think is making a comeback? I don't think they've announced anything about Primarks, right? There's been so many rumors about Primarks as well. Like it's just like every year there's a new Primark come back into the setting. Like I think if you go back and work out like when Gilliman came back, and then it was Mortarion. And then it was Magnus, was it? And then it was the Lion, and then it was Angron. I mean, I think we're just getting a Primark every 12 to 18 months now. I don't really follow the rumors. I'll just see it when it's actually announced, I guess. Or I'll see it when actually someone has a photo of the leak. But, you know... Naheem says I've been playing on the WTC terrain, and it feels really different compared to the Games Workshop terrain, in a good way or a bad way. Atlas says, watch Transformers 1, it's really good. Do you know what? Transformers 1 was really good. You're talking about the cartoon that they released recently, that it flopped really hard, by the way. I watched it with my kids and we all loved it. The three of, like, we watched it all together. The second it finished, Morpheus from The Matrix was Alpha Trion, I think. We watched it, we loved it. We went on we went on Wikipedia right afterwards to see if they were going to make more, and it absolutely flopped. I don't know why it flopped, but yeah, I honestly think that movie was better than any of the live action ones, or at least I enjoyed it more than any of the live action ones. I thought that was a really good movie, yeah. I liked it a lot. Apparently my tastes don't line up with what's popular these days, I guess. Oh, sorry, yeah, I missed Fulgrim. He just came out recently. Yeah, so we just got Fulgrim like 6 months ago, so it's going to be 6 months more before we get another Primark, surely. Yeah, but I wanna see if I can get any of the. I think they occasionally do like re-releases of the 1984 toys. I want to see if I can get one of them for my kid, like maybe like an Optimus Prime, you know, like maybe like a Christmas present. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the cartoon Transformers. No, it's not like I hate the live action ones, but I think I would rather more cartoons, honestly. If they could make more movies the quality of Transformers 1, then I think they would do absolutely fine, because I think over time that might become a cult classic as well. Colin says my money is on Russ. Yeah, it could be Russ. I mean, I think Valrak's done 3 or 4 videos about Russ. CJ says, love your stuff. First or second time commenting. I'm starting my Blood Angels build, almost finished. The Leviathan set Space Marines. What should I grab next? If you don't have any Sangre Guard, the Combat Patrol is a good shout. I think most Blood Angels armies this edition want 6, or like all my lists at the moment all my lists have 9 Sangre Guard. So you could go and bet the Combat Patrol, that would get you 6 and a captain, or you could just go out and buy 9 Sangre Guard. That's 3 boxes. That could be an option as well. I bid on a 1984 Dirge. How much you bid, Colin? My favourite, I think, from the old movie, like I really like Springer, and maybe like Cup. But do you know who Michael liked the most, Colin? He liked Blur. And I think it was just the bit where Blur was like, nobody can get this job faster than Blur. Nobody. And I think just he's talking fast. And like, there must have been something about that like, Michael just thought he was funny or something. Blur, I did actually look, they do make a Blur toy. He's only at 20 bucks. He could be a good shout for Christmas. I think live action would be better if they stopped trying to jam romance plots. I mean, Transformers was never really about the humans, was it? You're maybe right. Like, maybe we should just tone down Shia LaBeouf. I think they're actually making another one with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. I could be wrong, but I think I read a rumor that, or maybe it was true. Maybe those two are coming back. I mean, I couldn't care less about those two, I feel like, but I guess they were in the first live action one, and some people care. Devastator toy, yeah, Devastator, super cool. Before I got back into 40k, that was where my money was going put on like Generation 1 Transformers. Yeah, us men don't grow up, do we? Dude, there's something cool about Generation 1 Transformers. They will have a special place in my heart, I think, forever. I mean, back in our day, we had to rent that video out. Like, we rented out Transformers the movie, and I must have rented it like 10 times. Like, every week, my parents took me to the video shop. Every week, I just wanted to rent the same movie. Yeah, get the Combat Patrol and 10 3D printed jump packs. Yeah, I mean, if you can get some 3D printed jump packs, the Combat Patrol lets you add 2 squads of jump intercessors, and it lets you add the 6 Sangre Guard, and, well, if you can get 11 3D jump packs, then you actually have a captain that can go on a jump pack as well. So, the Combat Patrol is useful if you are starting out Blood Angels, and there is places, be it there's multiple places you can pick up 3D jump packs these days. Like, there's places in America that sell them, there's places in Europe that sell them, so I would look around. Like, if you want to customize your Blood Angels these days, you kind of need to be buying some 3D printed stuff anyway, because we don't get a lot of options anymore. I sold all my Generation Transformers toys back in 2020 along with the 80s Star Wars stuff. I don't think I had any of my stuff in good condition. I sold VHSs recently that were in my loft for like, I couldn't believe it. Like, people actually buy VHSs on eBay, right? I couldn't believe it. Because I was thinking to myself, like, what year did you guys actually, as much as maybe it was nice to have like old VHSs, what year did you guys last have a VHS player? Because I was like trying to, you know, like when something is so long, I was like, man, I do not remember the last time in my life I owned a VHS. Like, I think I must have, like, I don't actually think I've ever owned, no, I must have had a VHS player at some point when I was like 15 or something. But like when I was a student, I never had a VHS player, and I went to university in 2001. So you tell me the last time I had a VHS player was like earlier than 2001, and like people buy VHSs on eBay. I'm like, what? I've not had a VHS player for 25 years. Like, I've never felt the need, right? The PS2 killed it. Yeah, do you know what? I had a PS2. So everybody got PS2. Like, PS2 was one of the best-selling consoles of all time, I suppose. So everybody got PS2, and then everyone was just like, ah, fuck it. VHS is dead. Who wants to rewind that shit anyway? Guff, yeah, okay, chat. Who had the most recent VHS? Guff had one in 2014. Can anyone beat 2014? And be honest. I'll know if you're lying. If someone says I've still got one, I'm going to be like, why the fuck? What do you do with it except take up an inordinate amount of space in your home on a table or a desk somewhere? Nobody manufactures VHS machines. I think there's probably like one or two companies that still make VHS machines. There's probably some. Marius is like, I'll take a picture. Get out, dude. What are you doing with that VHS? Dude, it's like, oh my god, it's like 300 DPI. It's like, you remember when you watched a video on YouTube like 25 years ago and it was a shit quality? That's what VHS is. Michael doesn't even have a DVD player anymore. I bought a VHS in 2021 to play the OG Star Wars films without the special editions. Oh, you're one of those people. You don't like the fact that he like CGI up the Star Wars movies. I get you. William still has one. Well, people buy them people buy old VHSs on eBay. I can't believe it. Or I couldn't believe it. I just threw them on eBay. I was like, these will never sell. They sold like really, really quickly. Just type !Discord, dude, and the Discord link will appear magically in chat. Elthar says, sup John, just got back from RTT. Went 2-1, losing to the overall winner, which was Grey Knights. Wartbane. That army is insane. I must admit, I do not know Wartbane. I've played Grey Knights this edition, but I didn't honestly, or I played them actually kind of recently, and I didn't think they were very strong. Wartbane. I need to have another look at that detachment. Good job though. Only losing one game. You know, sometimes, here's the thing, right? If you get beat by an army you've never played before at a tournament, is that even really, you know, like, I've been at tournaments where I've, like, been upset, maybe, because I've, you know, like, I've lost a game, a meaningful game, that if I've won the game, I would have won the tournament. But if it's like an army you don't really have much experience against, you don't know the gotchas, like, just use it as a learning experience for next time. You'll come back stronger, I feel like. I got beat in an RTT by, in a GT by Grey Knights. First time I ever played Grey Knights, you know. I don't have a VHS player, but I still have a huge VHS cassette collection inherited from my dad, and I can't bring myself to say goodbye to it. You know, Crozier, I don't know, I'm sure I've mentioned it on stream before. I actually lost my dad in 2009, so 16 years ago now. So I was a pretty young man 16 years ago. I don't even know if I was probably not even really a man 16 years ago, just an old child. And I hear, you know, like for the longest time, I feel like I kept a lot of stuff that belonged to my dad, but like as time has gone on, it gets harder and harder to hold, like, not necessarily that you don't want to hold on to things, just, you know, something you were holding on to, like breaks or something. You know, the inevitable march of time forward. But like, I think at the time, like I was holding on to things because I felt like I had to, maybe like psychologically, like that's my dad's, I'm never going to get rid of it. And I think maybe there's still like one or two things that I have, but like, I suppose in a weird way, it all just gets lost to time, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. I don't know if that's supposed to give you any comfort, but you know, I guess the only thing you can keep is your memories, right? It's a tough one. But yeah, I don't even know if I've got more than a couple of things that belong to my dad now, just because 16 years. Tough, man. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing it gave me was a fucking hate for cancer, that's for sure, eh? Evening, Mike, how you doing? Let's brighten the mood. What are you painting tonight, Mike? Are you actually painting red, or have you come into the channel with a bullshit name? Say, Mike paints red, but you are actually indeed not painting red. Yeah. Oh, you've been out at gaming night. It's the one with Hallowed Ground. Full rerolls to hit. Great opponent though, really enjoyable. Definitely not taking Dante plus 6 Angry Guard again. Either total overkill or total whiff. Yeah, do you know, I'm off Dante at the moment, man. I think a captain with Sangry Guard is totally fine. And I think 6 Sangry Guard with a captain is also totally fine. But yeah, I think the thing about Sangry Guard that you probably end up learning the hard way is that they're actually not durable in really any way, shape or form, right? Like, you think you've got this unit, -1 to hit, -1 to wound, you can jump in, you can do a lot of killing. But like the second the Sangry Guard like fail a charge or they kill a unit and they're standing exposed on an objective, they actually kind of die very, very quickly. And for the points that they cost, like I think we talked about this earlier, saying that they're like 45 points for a toughness 4 marine. Like, they're actually bonkersly high priced. So like Sangry Guard are kind of a hardish unit to run, just because you have to. I was gonna say, I think that metal inside, I think this Terminator is so old that it might be, do you remember when they released them with white metal? I think that might actually be the white metal in there. It looks like it's going a bit green, I guess. It's probably mold or something from being 25 years old. But yeah, no, the Sangry Guard are a tough unit to run. Dante kind of pushes them to an obnoxious price as well, though, right? You're like 390 points with them. I think I'd much better value to just take the captain, I feel, but like, the captain plus 6 is fine. But I hear you. I mean, I'm kind of off Dante this edition. I did play him a bunch this edition, probably more, like way more than I played him last edition. But he's still very expensive. Atlas loves me 6 Sangry Guard. Michael says, I only keep my dad's jewellery and firearms and WW2 medals. If that's all you have, keep it. You know, I don't know what year, I don't know what year they banned guns in the UK, but when my dad passed away, I found it like an actual like super old pistol in a box under his bed, and I handed it into the police station because like I guess maybe my dad had it for like home defense and like maybe he just forgotten about it. But when I found it, I was like, oh my goodness, because guns are like completely illegal and you can't have guns in the UK. So I just handed it in the police station. But yeah, nice to keep something, Michael. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, over time, I guess you keep your memories forever, though, right? In Angelic Inheritors, a captain with 6, and the no Overwatch enhancement was the star of the show in my first win against Eldar. I keep thinking about that no Overwatch enhancement, man. But then, I guess, like, I think if I was playing Death Guard, the no Overwatch enhancement would be very useful, because the Death Guard have bonkers anti-infantry flavors. But then I also think that, like, yeah, do you know what? Maybe I just need to switch something up and get that. 1996, was it, that they banned guns in the UK? Well, in that case, that gun was under his bed in a box for 13 years. Andrew says, I just picked up a set of synthetic brushes and I'm already not a huge fan. Any recommendation for a higher set? Whereabout are you from, Andrew? Which country are you in? Because if you're in the UK, I can recommend some brushes, but if you're somewhere else, maybe someone in chat can recommend some good brushes. I think synthetic brushes are fine for base coats, or maybe like vehicles, but maybe if you're trying to do finer detail, like I like synthetic brushes for base coats, like cheap brushes that I can just slap paint on with. That's what I think they're good for. You're in the US? So guys, in the US, where do you buy your brushes? I know that there's definitely people in chat from the US. Who's buying good quality brushes in the US? Someone help Andrew. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name. We'll call him Andrew Ruck. Someone help Andrew Ruck out with a good website for, or a good recommendation for brushes. I'd appreciate it. Strangely says, I wish Dante had more army-wide buffs. Yeah, I mean, Dante's +1 to hit buff really lost a lot of its effectiveness, I guess, with Sangri Guard moving to hit on 2s, right? Hold on, I missed a question from Gruff Bucket. He said, are aggressors worth it? I'm trying to get tougher dudes out there without buying Vindicators. I have 6 and a captain. Do you know what? Aggressors don't see tons of play. Are they worth it right now? They're decent. Are they amazing? Probably not. But we don't have like super amazing durable units. So if you're trying to get something more durable, that's fighty, that's got power fists, that's got twin linked, they're fine. Aggressors have been in a weird place, I would say, with rules over the last couple of years. There's been a few patches where aggressors have been very strong, like very, very strong, and there's a few patches where they've been kind of weak or average. I think we're in a patch right now where aggressors, I would say, are kind of an average unit. Like, they're okay in combat. The twin link certainly helps, but they're only 2 damage. They're okay in shooting if you shoot the closest target. they're an okay spot price wise in terms of they are like 33 points per model, so you can run 6 reasonably effectively for 200 points. Toughness 6 is useful. So yeah, I mean, if you've got aggressors, you can definitely use them. Are they going to be the most competitive choice ever? No. A Land Raider or a Repulsor. I guess if you're attaching a character, it's got to be the Repulsor. The Repulsor with its capacity of 14 will get them up the board. I'm sure you can make them work to a certain degree, but they're not amazing. Their durability is, toughness 6 is a little bit better than toughness 4, but it's not amazing. So yeah, I mean, I've played aggressors to tournaments this edition. Like I said, they're all right. I think when I played them to the tournament, I was actually running a Blood Angels list. I think it had like 22 Gravis Marines in it. And I actually did pretty well, because I think most people don't expect to play against 22 Gravis Marines when they're playing against Blood Angels. Brushes last longer if you use brush soap on them. Yeah, I would always recommend getting brush soap. Like, I literally use brush soap after every painting session. It keeps them alive 10, 15, 20 times longer. And you can get, like, I just buy this on Amazon. This will probably last like a couple of years, maybe even longer. You just get a tiny little bit of hot water, you brush it into the bristles, and then you just rinse it out like 5 minutes later. It works great on the GW paints. And like I said, a tub of that, you'll get it on Amazon for like $10. Last you like a year or longer. Vindicators are heading to Legends in 11th edition, says Private Name. Yeah, I think most people kind of expect Vindicators to head to Legends, I would have thought. I honestly think everything that is Firstborn is probably heading to Legends. I'd be surprised if anything Firstborn stays in the Codex, because very little, if any, Firstborn stuff sees play in this edition, right? Like, no one's playing Tactical Marines. Very few people are playing Devastators. No one's playing Razorbacks. Thoughts on Eliminators with Las Fusils? I was looking at this the other day because someone was saying in the Raven Guard list they could be pretty cool. Eliminators can only go in squads of 3, I think, is my issue with them. They're not very durable. The Las Fusil is an okay gun, but I think it's more like an anti-elite gun than an anti-tank gun, right? Because if it was anti-tank, it would have higher strength. It's only strength 9, so like you want to be killing elites with Las Fusils and not tanks. And then it's quite singular purpose. I've got 6 Eliminators. I don't run any of them, Cambo. I mean, what do you think? Like, what detachment are you running them in? Like, if you're just running them with Blood Angels, I mean, they're not super durable. I mean, the reason I guess you would run them with the Raven Guard detachment is because they have stealth, they have +1 in cover. Like, if you're just running them as a Blood Angel, I mean, it's a tough. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I'm not sold on them, I guess. The new Black Templar Codex has good stuff for Land Raiders. Do you think that'll stay around? I don't know about a Land Raider. A lot of people think the Land Raider is iconic. Maybe a Land Raider will just get a revamped kit. I don't know. I lucked out. I have shaky hands and can't paint for craps. My fiance paints them for you. Well, I wish my wife would paint these for me. That would save me so much time. I sit there and play Battlefield 6 and tell her to paint faster, woman. You know? Can just imagine what she would say if I said that to her. Paint faster, woman. It would go down like a lead balloon. I would love to see a battle pattern Gladiator. I mean, maybe we'll see a ball pattern gladiator. Their track record of giving us Blood Angel specific stuff at the moment, I feel like is pretty bad. You know, like our Blood Angels Death Company are not really like there is no Death Company box, there is no Death Company Brutalis box. I mean, would it be that odd to put it in the new Black Templars Codex? You remember that Kratos tank, right? Like, they released the Kratos tank, they gave it rules for Warhammer 40,000. I honestly think people bought that tank, they sprayed it, and by the time it was sprayed and on the tabletop, it went to Legends. Like, what's happening, this, you know, I don't know how to say it. Like, rules this edition doesn't almost mean anything, right? Like, when it's time for a model to go to sunset, the model goes to sunset. It doesn't really matter if it had a book recently or not. Campbell, thank you so much for 37 months of membership. I appreciate it. I wish the Kratos was still playable. I thought it was cool, man. And not many people ran it. Like, I think I saw it one time. I like the Forge World stuff. You know, like, I like playing Warhammer competitively. But if you could roll it back and say to me, would you rather the game be more competitive and we lose all the Forge World stuff, or keep it a little bit more fun and keep the Forge World stuff? I would definitely be in the fun camp. Like, the Forge World stuff wasn't even that competitive. It wasn't even power. Like, some of it was almost a meme how uncompetitive it was. Like Leviathan Dreadnoughts, they were so expensive. Nobody ever ran them competitively. Like, I don't think it had any impact on the competitive scene. Like, one random Joe would take a Leviathan Dreadnought, and then, you know, like, he'd be sitting, like, at a competitive tournament, he's sitting mid-table at best. Like, if you took a Leviathan Dreadnought, you weren't going like, oh, I'm taking a Leviathan Dreadnought to win this GT. I'm taking it because it's fun. I feel like I'm right on that. Get the wife painting on stream. I don't know if I can. Oh, one second. Yeah, Colin, you'd be proud of me. I was so hungover on Sunday morning. Look, I'm taking antacids because my stomach's still not quite right from Saturday night. I had way too much to drink. You know, when you're just having fun, not really keeping track of what you're drinking. And then before you know it, it's spiraled out of control. I blame my friend, like, had this bottle of whiskey. And there was a bit in it. It was like maybe like a quarter bottle of whiskey. So there's probably enough for like 4 or 5. Well, probably in total, there's probably enough for like, probably at least 6 or 7 drams. And like, he just split it between 2 glasses, like the whole bottle. He was like, we poured 2 giant measures. And then he was like, oh look, the bottle's almost empty. Let me just finish it. And then honestly, like, I think that was the last thing I remember of that night. I was out for Charlotte's birthday. I think I said to you, we were away without the kids for Charlotte's birthday. It was great. But yeah, the drinking got out of control. I mean, to be fair, that's the first weekend me and the wife have had the whole year without the kids. And it's like, it's 15th of October, so, you know, we haven't had a night out without kids for 10 and a half months. So, yeah, I mean, I should have probably guessed the drinking was going to go out of control, right? Speaking of fun, what would your top rules change for 11th edition to make the game more fun? Well, oh, that's a good question. I mean, one thing I really want to see in 11th edition is, like, more balance with the detachments, but, I mean, what would make the game more fun? Well, I think the people that think the game's lost fun think the game's lost flavour. So that's a good question. I don't know. I've met a ton of guys in the store who refuse to play 10th edition. I've only played 10th, so I don't know the pros and cons of the older editions. I think the older editions just had more flavour. I think the people that don't want to play 10th edition don't like that they stripped away a bunch of the flavour to make the game more competitive. If you're a competitive player, you probably quite like 10th edition, because it's better balanced competitively than like 9th edition was. But like, you know, by making the game essentially more competitive, you lose some of the fluff, you lose some of the flavour. And I think the people that aren't going to play 10th edition, or the people that don't want to play 10th edition, like the flavour that previous editions had. Which I think is fair. You bring back the psychic phase. I mean, they were trying to make the game faster, but like, you probably definitely lost something with the lack of psychic phase as well, because at least before, your psychers had a bit more flexibility. They could pick their powers, they could do different things. I mean, you still have some armies that can do it, like Thousand Suns do have powers, but it's very limited compared to what it was before. The game is about having fun with your friends. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good argument. The game is supposed to be all about having fun. But, I mean, the competitive scene drives a lot of revenue these days. So I guess that's something you just have to factor in now, right? Like, there's no two ways around that. The competitive players do bring in a lot of revenue. Dancing girls would make it more fun. You know, like the NFL, like we just have halftime, we just get the cheerleaders in, or the pom-poms. That would make an interesting GT, wouldn't it, Michael? Campbell says, I miss the wacky rules, the no more DACA. What about the old 3rd edition Death Company rules? They were fun, weren't they? Before the game, you roll a d6 for every squad you've got of infantry, and on a 6 up, or on a 4 up, one of the guys joins the Death Company. I wouldn't mind seeing units on the board survive longer. Yeah, do you know what? That's something like the game. Like they even said it this edition. They were like, "We're going to make the game less killy." The game is as killy as it's ever been, man. Like, the game is killy as hell. So you could argue that they already said they were going to make the game less killy. They just didn't really manage to deliver on that meaningfully. Excuse me. Yeah, they just didn't manage to deliver on that, I guess. Karn still has rules where he kills his allies if he's attached. If Karn is attached to the Bloodletters, I'm pretty sure he still kills them. Not Bloodletters, sorry, Bloodthirsters. Some people have been running Karn as a lone op, because when he's a lone op, he doesn't kill any of his own models, and he stands back up on death, so he can like do actions and be pretty resilient, jump back up. It's less killy than 9th? I mean, in the tiniest little bit, maybe. Maybe it's a tiny bit less killy than 9th, is it? But the first couple of codexes came out, it really looked like it was going to be less killy, but that didn't last for any length of time, I feel like. But no, I mean, I've had a lot of fun playing this 10th edition. I haven't I was upset, the same as everybody, when a bunch of models went to Legends. Like, I didn't want models to go to Legends. I preferred the bigger pool of stuff to play against, but in 9th we had models that could ignore invulnerable saves. I mean, the new keywords like sustained and lethals and all that probably are a good direction for them to take the game in, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know some people got really up. Is it? I don't know. Every edition feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Is it? Poor Death Guard gets so much grief for lethals. Dude, you don't get grief for lethals. Your character has lethals, lance, and sustain. That's what you get grief for. You get all the keywords on Death Guard. The unit has lance, and then the character gives... Sorry, no, the unit has lethals, and the character gives sustained and lance. I mean, that's a little bit obnoxious, I feel like. Like, do you really need 3? I'm surprised you don't have a stratagem that gives you, like, dev to stack on top of all that nonsense. What's my red recipe? Spray, white. Like, I feel like the coat of white is important, because if I don't... Spraying that base coat of, like, I think, well, they used to call it skull white, but I think the coat of white actually makes them more vibrant on top. So I spray white, then I spray like Mephiston red, and then this is the second coat of Evil Sun Scarlet. This is why it takes me so long to do models, because I do 4 coats before I even start painting. But what it means is that they have a very vibrant, like, there's a pretty bright red, right? It reminds you of that red plastic you get. You know, the Space Marines you got with the... You know, the red plastic Space Marines you get in the Space Hulk box. Like, that's how bright we get our red here. But it does mean that I then do no edge highlighting whatsoever. So I'll just recess wash these guys. So I save time by not edge highlighting, because the red is already vibrant enough that, like, I don't need to go any brighter. Space Hulk, yeah, that's what I meant. Did I say Space Crusade? Sorry. But I don't even know what I said actually. Say Space Crusade. I meant Space Hulk. I think 10th has been strangely good for the health of the game. It's helped find a competitive balance. I'm really hoping they build on this now and add back unique faction flavour. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of looking at it. It's good to be positive about it. Yeah, I mean, 10th has helped in terms of tournament play is probably better. The overall balance is maybe even slightly better. So maybe if we can now get a bit more personality and flavour back, then we're going to get the best of both worlds. Take care, Michael. Thanks so much for hanging out. You have a nice evening. I always sort of think to myself, if you guys didn't hang out, there wouldn't be much of a stream, so I do appreciate it. I was trying to say to Colin last week when he was on the channel, I was like, if I don't have an opponent, I don't have much of a battle report, do I? 10th has seen higher win rates in Marines, has it? I feel like Marines have been pretty low consistently this entire edition. Like, I don't remember Codex Marines ever really staying above 50% for any rate of time, or any amount of time. What about my black recipe? I just do black, spray black, and then edge highlight with like a dark blue. I think I use the Space Wolf blue. I think it's called Fenrisian Grey. It's like a blue grey. Yeah, you do have to stop letting me win, Colin. I appreciate Colin let me win last week, guys, by moving off the objective. Very kind of him. Hello, United Wargamer, how are you? Yeah, these guys are looking decidedly red now. That's cool. I do like the size of the new Terminators. I mean, the old ones are still cool, the firstborn ones, but the new ones are just like pretty serious business, aren't they? Death Guard just need a Primarch to carry them. I think Mortarion was scarier in 9th edition. I feel like every time I played against Mortarion in 9th edition, he was a fucking nightmare to deal with. I'm putting off painting Sangre Guard spears for this weekend. Yeah, I need to make some more. Like, I haven't made too many of the Sangre Guard from the Combat Patrol yet. I need to make some more. I wanted to get on tonight and just get some painting done, because I think because I was away last weekend, I didn't paint, and then there must have been something like a weekend before or something where I didn't paint. So I feel like I haven't painted in ages. So I just wanted to get on here tonight and get some stuff done. So these new Terminators. I'm kind of tempted to do an army where I field 20 Bolter Terminators and that Emperor's Shield detachment, because I think that could be quite fun. I think it would suck against Death Guard though, because I think you anti-infantry 2-up the whole blob of Terminators, and then they get mullered by Death Guard, but I'm sure against some other armies that don't have a crap load of anti-infantry, they'd be quite good. We have a Primarch, Colin. We just, he's in the warp. He's chilling. He's coming back, though, one day. You watch. So I had these models then since the Leviathan box set came out, and I only put them together, I think on a... Oh, that'll be why I didn't paint the weekend before then. I was building Terminators. I was building these guys. So I made a list where I've got 20 bolter Terminators, and then I went and looked in my drawer and only had like 14 bolter Terminators. I was like, all right, I need to make some. So I finally got around to making these guys. And the new sculpts are really nice. Like, I really wish we could get more Blood Angel specific stuff rather than like generic Astartes. Not that there's anything wrong with generic Astartes, but more Blood Angel specific would be really appreciated. I'm going to be here for like another 10-15 minutes because I'm getting tired, and when I get tired my eyes don't like to focus. And I can tell that they're already like starting to go a bit grey and hazy. So you got any last Blood Angels questions? Ask me now. Otherwise we've got a new video coming on Friday. Probably be streaming again on Saturday. New video coming on Sunday. And then haven't quite planned out next week yet. But there will be new content, you know, there always is. Who is my favourite Blood Angels character in lore? It's a good question. I really enjoyed the Dante book. But then I also quite enjoyed the Astaroth book. I was reading the Gabriel Seth, the Flesh Tearers book, but everybody was just very angry in that book. Dracula, thanks for hanging out. Have a nice evening. I like that you don't need sub-assemblies with the Terminators, Robert said. Yeah, I mean, they're big enough now where you probably just never need to sub-assemble. I mean, I don't sub-assemble in general, Robert, but I see what you mean. Stephen says it's Mephiston. It might be Mephiston if he was... I wish he was as good in the board game as he was on lore, you know that? That's Mephiston's problem. Kicks ass on in the stories, kind of average on the tabletop. Would that be fair to say? I was actually thinking of starting to read the Dante book again, just because it's been like a decade at this point. I can't believe how long that book's been out, and I also can't believe how long it is since they continued that story, because I think Darkness in the Blood came out ages ago. Like, I think we looked at it a little while ago, and it was like close to like 5 years or some nonsense. Mateo, what's happening? How you doing, brother? So yeah, I really enjoyed Darkness in the Blood, but yeah, I mean it was ages ago. Like, I'm sure it came out when I lived in my old house, so that makes it, because I moved into this house like over 4 years ago now. So I'm sure Darkness in the Blood is like 5 years old. So it's just like, that was a cool story. I think most people enjoyed, like, what was it? It was the Dante book, and then Devastation of Baal, and then Darkness in the Blood. But like, I want more of that story. I'm waiting. I'm ready. Surely it's about time we get another limited edition Blood Angels book, you know, by Guy Haley. Have you read Dan Abbott's Bequin series? No, I don't think I have, man. What's the book called? I was trying to read Siege of Terra. I think it was last year, but after the first book, I really struggled with the Siege of Terra. Alternative Vindicator anti-armor. Good question. What is a Vindicator alternative? I mean, I think it's probably got to be the Lancer or a Predator. I mean, you could do Devastator Centurions, but it feels like most people don't have those. CJ, thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your evening. I appreciate you hanging out for a bit with us here. Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm just gonna slap this coat on this guy, and I'm gonna call it done. I know when I get into the end of the stream because I talk less and I'm tired and my eyes get all fuzzy. So, thank you to everybody that's hung out tonight. I do appreciate it. There'll be a new video on Friday as always. But yeah, keep an eye. The videos coming out. The next 2 videos on this channel are something completely different, something we've never done before. So if you see them pop up in your timeline, please do watch them. And please do, you know, like, subscribe, share them with a friend, all that good stuff, you know. There's Winged Blood Angels, and it's an Eisenhorn book. No, I haven't read it at all, man. I'll get a new subscription to Audible at some point. They always send me like, you know, they always send me deals on Audible where I can get a few months for like a couple of bucks or something. I usually always take them up and buy some new books. I've got like a 45, not quite 45 minute, probably more like 35. I've got like a 35-minute walk to work every day and then back again. So can usually get through like 2 chapters of an audiobook every day. Just on my commute, basically. Yeah, these guys are getting suitably red. Thanks for hanging out as well, Mr. Commander Dante. I do appreciate it. Excuse me. I need to go check if I've got another pot of Evil Sun Scarlet, because apparently I used so much of it. I've got more models that need base coating. I actually had like 3 or 4 more, but I was like, you know what, I think this is enough models for the stream, because when I'm doing the base coats, I like to get both coats of red done in one go, so that I know where, like, I know that they've had 2 coats of Evil Sun. So this is the last model with the second coat of Evil Sun. So if you're watching from work, get back to work, you slacker. Messy. Alright, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. You all have a great evening. I'll see you on Friday's video. Like I said, it's something different, so when you see it, please do watch it. Alright, take care, guys. Good night. Stephen says, thanks, John. You've inspired me to do a good bit of painting there. Good for you, Stephen. Keep it up. Set yourself a weekly... Like, the thing that gets me to do the most painting is to set myself, like, a time every week. It's the same as, like, going to the gym, man. You know, go to the gym on this day every week. It makes such a difference. Like, create a habit as opposed to, like, as opposed to it being a chore. Alright. Good night. Peace. Thanks for watching.